Good day everyone! So my name is Novira aka Kinanti. Today I will present about basic concept of microeconomics. Microeconomics focus on how individual, household, and firm make decisions and how they interact in markets. This subject is important because it gives us foundation to understand how the economy works at a smaller scale and how those decisions build up into larger economic outcomes. Microeconomics, according to Mankiw, in the study of individual decision-making units such as consumer and firm, and how they interact in specific markets. Unlike microeconomics, which study the whole economy, microeconomics zoom in on smaller parts. The main focus is on resource allocation, price mechanisms, and the behavior of market participants. In short, it asks how the people decide what to buy, how the firm decide how much to produce, and how the market balance these choices. One of the most fundamental ideas in economy is scarcity. Resources like land, labor, and capital are limited, while human wants are unlimited. Because of this, individual and firm must make choice. Microeconomics assume that decision makers are rational, meaning they try to maximize their benefit, utility for consumer, and profit for firm. Becker in 1962 explained even what looked like irrational behavior can often be explained by rational choice model. Decisions are also made at the margin, for example, whether to consume one more unit of a good or not. Demand refers to the quantity of a good consumer are willing to buy at different price. The law of demand tells us that when price increases, quantity demand decreases, and vice versa. But demand is not only influenced by price. Dalton and Mulber calculate that income, tasty, price of related goods like substitutes or complement, and expectation also set demand. That's why the demand curve slopes downward but can shift to the change in other factors. Supply is the quantity of a good that producers are willing to sell at different price. The law of supply shows a direct relation. Higher price usually encourage producers to supply more. However, supply also depends on other factors such as production costs, available technology, expectation, and the number of sellers. Class in his 1937 article, The Nature of the Firm, emphasized that firms exist because they can reduce transaction costs in organizing production, which also influences how supply is structured. When demand and supply interact, they determine to market equilibrium. Equilibrium price is the price when quantity demand equals quantity supply. If the price too high, a surplus occurs, meaning excess supply. If the price too low, a shortage occurs, meaning excess demand. The work of Arrow and Debreu in 1954 mathematically proved that under certain assumption, market will always move toward equilibrium. This is one of the key foundations of modern economics. Elasticity measures how responsive demand or supply is to change in price or income. For example, if small change in price causes a big change in demand, then demand is elastic. If demand hardly changes, it is inelastic. Elasticity is crucial for business and setting price, and for government is deciding tax. For instance, Gosby in 2000 studied how internet sellers respond to taxation, showing that online commerce was highly sensitive to tax difference. Consumer theory is based on the idea that people aim to maximize their satisfaction or utility given their budget. Producer theory is the opposite side. Firms aim to minimize cost and maximize profit. Production function describe how inputs like labor and capital are transformed into output. Varian explained that in the short run, some inputs are fixed, while in the long run, all input can be adjusted. This theory helps us understand how choice at the individual and firm level create pattern in the economy. Not all markets work the same way. Economists usually describe four types of market structure. Perfect competition has many sellers and homogeneous product. Monopoly has only one seller who control the market. Monopolistic competition is in between with many sellers offering differentiated products. Oligopoly has only a few big firms dominating the market. Bain's 1951 research linked industry concentration to profit rates, showing how structure influence market outcomes. Why do we study microeconomics? For business, it helps in making decisions about pricing, production, and investment. For government, it provides guidance in setting policies like tax, subsidy, and regulation. And for us as individuals, it helps explain consumer choice, market trends, and even public debate about competition and fairness. Pinnick and Rubinfeld emphasize that microeconomics give practical tools to analyze it and solve real-world problems. Study case 1. Price elasticity in online shopping. During the COVID-19 pandemic, many consumers moved to online platforms like Shopee and Tokopedia. Goldsby 2000 explained that online demand tends to be very elastic, meaning that small price change can cause big change in quantity demand. For example, when test platform offer discount or free shipping, sales increase dramatically because consumers are very responsive to lower price. This case shows how the concept of price elasticity of demand applies in real life, especially in digital markets, where consumers can easily compare price and switch to cheaper options. Case 2. Government full subsidy in Indonesia. In Indonesia, the government often adjusts full subsidy to control inflation and protect consumers. When full subsidy are reduced, full price increase, which leads to decreased demand for private vehicle use, but increased demand for public transportation. This situation reflects how demand and supply equilibrium work and how government intervention influence market behavior. It also shows that full demand is relatively inelastic because people still need transportation even when price rise. The conclusion, microeconomic study the behavior of individuals and firms focusing on scarcity, demand and supply, equilibrium, elasticity, consumer and producer behavior, and market structure. Classical theory from Mankiw, Varian, and Pinnick give us the foundation, while journal-based study from Becker, Quase, Arrow, and others show how this idea apply in reality. By combining theory with evidence, microeconomics become not just abstract, but a useful way of thinking about everyday economic issues. So, that is a little information from me. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.